Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a spring wreath. And these are the supplies I'm using. I'm going to start by adding my pipe cleaners to my wire frame. This is an 8-inch wire frame and they come in a 2-pack at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to add 6 pipe cleaners on the outside 2 bars of the frame. I'm also going to add 6 pipe cleaners to the inner bars of the frame. When you wrap a pipe cleaner around 2 bars, it makes it more secure. Now it's time to cut my mesh. I always start with a clean line. I have 4 rolls of mesh. I have this gold, a yellow, a white, and a green. I'm going to cut 18-inch pieces of the mesh and I will need 6 of each color. Now that I have all my mesh cut, it's time to add it to my frame. So I'm going to roll up one end and then I'm going to roll up the other end, meet them in the middle, and it creates kind of like a bow. So I'm going to place this into the first pipe cleaner. I like to start with the inner ring, so I just take the outside pipe cleaners and just kind of fold them out and get them out of my way. So here I'm going to layer. I'm going to do the gold and the white together, and then I'm going to do the green and the yellow together. So here I'm just rolling each side until it meets in the middle, and then I'm going to layer. So again, the gold with the white and the yellow with the green, and I'm going to continue to do this all the way around the wreath frame. The layers of the mesh make for a very full wreath. Now it's time to cut my ribbon tails. I'm using a 2.5-inch daisy ribbon and a 1.5-inch green and white ribbon. I'm cutting my ribbons at 12 inches and I'm only going to cut 6 of each ribbon. Now that I have all of my tails cut, I'm going to dovetail both ends of the ribbons. Okay folks, now it's time to add the ribbons to the wreath. I'm going to stack the green and white on top of the daisy ribbon and just place them on the outside pipe cleaners of the wreath. Once I twist tie them in, I do fan them out. I do like to do kind of like an X. So I'm just going to stack the smaller ribbon on top of the bigger ribbon, and I'm going to find the middle and kind of pinch it and add it to the pipe cleaner. Okay folks, now it's time to make our bow. I'm going to start with a larger ribbon, and I didn't have too much of this left over, and so I'm just doing 2 loops on each side around 5 inches a piece. Next, I'm going in with the yellow and white. I actually bought this at Walmart, and it was in the Easter section, so I wanted to use that up as well. And I'm only going to do 2 loops on each side, and they're around 5 inches as well. Next, I'm going in with another 1.5-inch ribbon that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to do 2 loops on each side with this one as well. Now I'm going to finish up my bow with the green and white striped, and I'm going to do 3 loops of this one. Okay folks, now it's time to take the bow out of the Easy Bow Maker. So I'm going to use a zip tie to tie it off. So I'm going to carefully remove the bow from the Easy Bow Maker. Then I'm going to wrap my zip tie around the middle of the bow and I'm going to take it to the back. I am not going to crank it all the way down. I'm just going to get it started, bring it to the back, then I'm going to add my pipe cleaner. This way I have a way of attaching it to the wreath. Then I zip tie it all the way down. What I'm doing here is called breaking the bow, so I'm just fluffing up my loops and my tails and getting it exactly the way I want it. Now I'm going to add the bow to my wreath. I am not putting a sign on this wreath, so the bow is kind of the focal point. So I'm just going to find the middle of the wreath, feed the pipe cleaners down through the back, and I'm going to attach it to 2 bars on the back side of the wreath. I am not going to pull those pipe cleaners through the wreath. I want the bow to kind of sit on top of the mesh. Now it's time to trim up my ribbon tails. With the 1.5-inch ribbons, I just cut those at a slant, but for the bigger ribbons, I do dovetail those. You could stop right here. The wreath is perfectly fine with just the ribbons and the mesh, but I am going to add some daisies that I have. I'm going to add 3 of those and then some greenery around the wreath. So what I do is I just trim off the daisy stem from the bush, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and I'm going to tuck it into one of the pipe cleaners, and I'm going to tie it off. One of the daisies popped off the top, so instead of me trying to put it back onto the stem, I decided I'm just going to add some glue to the back and I'm going to put it right in the middle of that bow. So here I'm just adding a little bit of glue to the stem of that daisy, and I found a really good pipe cleaner right in the middle there. So I'm just going to lay it in the pipe cleaner and twist tie it off. I had this variegated greenery bush I purchased from Hobby Lobby, so I'm just going to trim that up and randomly put pieces all around the wreath. You just add a little bit of glue and then place it into the bow or the mesh. It will not go anywhere. I felt like the greenery and the florals just added another dimension to the wreath. Even though this is just an 8-inch work frame, this makes a very chunky wreath. If you do the layering with the mesh and the ribbons, it's a very, very full wreath. It's always good to take a step back from a project that you're working on just to see if you can make any improvements. Okay folks, this is my completed project. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.